So speculations for Galaxy Note 20 began last year itself when Samsung launched Note 10 with a crazy configuration. In the past week, we talked about a lot of stuff related to this phone, and today it's time to cover every necessary info. Honestly, I find it amusing when months before a company announced any product, we learn almost every detail about it. You see, Samsung will launch a successor to Note 10 alongside the Galaxy Fold 2 by the end of August, and here we are discussing about them at this early point of time. Ross Young, as always an official and a very reliable source, revealed some key details about Note 20 in a recent interview. He says that Samsung will be the world's first brand to introduce Qualcomm's latest under-display fingerprint tech on a mobile phone this year, and you have guessed it right, the Galaxy Note 20. For those who don't know, Samsung is the only manufacturer that employs an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner on devices like Galaxy S10, Note 10, and even S20. Qualcomm's currently the one who's supplying it, and even though they revealed an improved version of it in December 2019 that they call 3D Sonic Max, Samsung somehow didn't opt for it on the S20. According to the company, this particular scanner is exactly 17 times larger than the previous gen. Also, because it's able to recognize blood flow and heart rate, it's a secure way to unlock a device, as these features could detect that it's unlocked by an actual person. Additionally, it can handle two fingers at the same time, promising you a further improved version of security, so you cannot doubt it for once. Samsung decided to preserve it for the Galaxy Note 20, and it's indeed happening. This also covers up the lack of 120Hz refresh rate on the smaller model, because introduction of such a tech means a lot. If the rumors come out to be true and Note 20 ends up with every bit of good implementation in display zone, consumers are definitely gonna gather around, and obviously that would boost up the sales, unlike S20, which entered this extreme premium zone and ultimately didn't got appreciated with sales figures. The Galaxy Note 20 was also being speculated as the one with under-display camera tech, but the official revealed that it will have a punch hole camera in the center like the Galaxy S20 and the Note 10. So I guess S20 and Note 20 will look almost similar, with the Note series having an even more appealing boxier form factor. Ross also tipped that the phone should have a battery capacity between 4000 to 5000 mAh, but as according to previous reports, I believe it would end up with a 4000 mAh unit. All after that, there were talks about RAM numbers as well, and Ross believes that both Note 20 and Note 20 Plus will have 16GB of RAM as a standard. Now, this would sound insane to you, but I guess Samsung will list lower RAM variants as well to keep the cost low and maintain standards like they did with S20 series. If it only gets better for you, we have more information for Note 20, and this time it's about camera. Galaxy Club reports that Note 20 will not incorporate a 108 megapixel camera sensor. Instead, it's believed to have similar specs like S20 Plus. Samsung has officially released a 1.2 micrometer 50 megapixel ISOCELL GN1, and I don't know why, but Samsung will give it to Vivo to try it first. Maybe it's because they avoid risks with their own handsets and give it to other brands like Xiaomi or Vivo in this case to get a solid idea about it. This particular sensor will dominate in low light conditions, as bigger pixels are able to gather more light. Samsung says this sensor has a software algorithm which is capable of producing a 100 megapixel snap using light data from each diode. Another aspect where Samsung bring improvements is autofocus. You see, this sensor has a dual pixel autofocus technology for faster autofocus, which currently S20 Ultra is lacking, and instead of it, it houses a regular face detection autofocus tech, which obviously is a crappy focusing machine. If all goes well, Samsung will replace the 48 megapixel sensor with this new one on Galaxy Note 20, and that's all I wanna have for now. This exact model will have a triple rear camera setup like S20 and S20 Plus, and before you imagine your own kind of design for it, yes, it will have a big rectangular camera housing on the back, which has been leaked by these renders. And also talking about the design, it again confirms the boxy appeal like its predecessor, and also the hole-in display tech. Now, as it's only a rough representation for case makers, we cannot predict the bezel size and anything else. Just what you need to know for now is that it will have a triple rear camera setup like S20 and S20 Plus, and here's what it looks like on a boxy form factor. Now, enough for the Note 20, and it's time for the elder brother Note 20 Plus. According to the information that Ice Universe shared on his Twitter handle, Samsung will indeed use a 108 megapixel camera sensor for it, which is the same one that S20 Ultra houses, but to resolve focusing problems that there's a lot of talk about, they will add a new sensor as an assistance for it. Also, as it's gonna improve in some aspects, the company is trying to keep a balance between S and Note series while drawing a line to differentiate it. According to the leaker, Note 20 series no longer retains 100 times zoom function, which doesn't appear to be good, but let's wait for it. Like, they should add 50 times zoom capability for the Note 20 Plus, or maybe not. We'll come to know about it in the few days. And now finishing it off with battery capacity, Samsung will use a 4500 mAh unit for Note 20 Plus, which again is less than S20 Ultra's 4700 mAh unit. But there's an actual pen in this phone which acquires space, and there are limitations for everything. So yeah, I believe it's gonna be fine because of LTPO display on this phone, which consumes less power. That said, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.